Like most Americans who live within a day's drive of the Smoky Mountains, which is about half the U.S. population, I've been going to Gatlinburg my whole life, but I've never seen white oak flats like this. Great Smoky Mountains National Park is to my left and also where the sun is setting. I don't know of another location in this area where you can gain access to this perspective of one of America's favorite vacation destinations. It's hard to imagine that less than 2 hours ago, I thought we were in for a very disappointing evening, to say the least. I certainly didn't think we would see this amazing sunset. I didn't even think we were going to see the sun. Hey there, my name is Bill Marion and this is A Nose for Life. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the most unique experiences in the Smoky Mountains. It's called Anakeesta, a theme park located in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. It's a newer experience that opened back in 2017. Okay, so it's not exactly new, but you might not have ever been there, and I'm going to tell you all about it in this video. Now, this video is not meant to be a deep dive about Anakeesta. That wouldn't be fair. We're visiting in the winter during the off-season, on the worst possible day to visit any theme park, when it's pouring down the rain. Hey, at least it won't be crowded, right? Well, even though this isn't a deep dive, I'm going to be giving you a lot of information and later some opinion. In all honesty, we knew it would be raining when we purchased the tickets the night before. See, we've been making videos about popular vacation destinations for a long time, and what Carol and I have learned over the years is that one of the best ways to evaluate an experience is to show up when conditions are at their worst. It's not that we go out of our way to plan things that way, we just don't avoid it. Despite all the conditions, we were impressed. Anakeesta has incredible potential, and I'm going to tell you what we enjoyed and add my 2 cents about what Anakeesta must continue to do and do to compete for tourist dollars in the years to come. Now, Anakeesta isn't quite a decade old yet, so it's relatively new. Regardless, it's possible that you've never been there, so let's talk about it. If you're in the southern Appalachian Mountains, you're going to see the term balsam a lot. For example, I made a video about a mountain subrange in the southern Appalachian Mountains. The name of that subrange is called the Great Balsam Mountains. A balsam refers to a type of tree or plant that produces a fragrant resin, often used in medicine, perfumes, or as a natural preservative. In the context of the Smoky Mountains, balsam usually refers to a Fraser fir and red spruce, which dominate the high elevation forest of the region. These trees give the mountaintops a distinctive evergreen appearance and fresh Christmas-like scent. Anakeesta is a Cherokee word that means place of the balsams. The name Anakeesta reflects the presence of these trees in the upper elevations of the Smokies, which also highlights the most popular destinations in Great Smoky Mountains National Park like Kuwohi, Mount LeConte, and Newfound Gap. All these high elevations are covered with Fraser fir and red spruce. Now, I don't know who came up with the name, but as far as names go, wow, they did a great job. Because it just so happens that Anakeesta is also the name of a mountain knob in the Smoky Mountains. The term knob is commonly used to describe high points on a mountain ridge that are less prominent than a peak. If you're interested in learning about the difference between prominence and elevation, click on the tab in the corner of your screen. The term knob is used a lot in the Alleghenies of West Virginia, but occasionally it's used in this region. Anakeesta Knob has an elevation of 5,988 feet, but the point that I'm really trying to make is that Anakeesta is a perfect name for a Gatlinburg theme park. Anakeesta opened in 2017, the year after forest fires devastated this region. I came here in March of 2017 with my son Nathan to see what it looked like after the fires. We even made a video. The video is dated and cringe to say the least, but there's another tab in case you're interested. But the idea for the park was birthed by 3 couples with no theme park background. But together, they had expertise where it matters the most when it comes to theme parks. Expertise in areas most people don't even think about when it comes to theme parks. They knew a lot about landscape architecture. Now, we've made over 100 videos on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and landscape architecture comes up a lot. 15 million people drive the Parkway every year, and they don't realize it, but a lot of what they love about the Parkway is Stanley Abbott's landscape architecture. You'll have to watch those videos to know what I'm talking about. Landscape architecture and just architecture is why Ober Gatlinburg remains the biggest disappointment in Gatlinburg. Yes, I know, it's nostalgic and we all have memories there with our parents, grandparents, and our kids. but it's ugly. The whole experience is ugly. Prove me wrong in the comments. Listen, I'd love to help reimagine Ober. They can hire me as a consultant. I can fix Ober. Anyway, the three couples also had experience in marketing, which is probably more important than anything else. Oh yeah, a couple owned a zipline company, so there's that. The entrance of Anakeesta is located on a spur of Mount LeConte above Gatlinburg. The park refers to this spur as Anakeesta Mountain. Now, this is an example of that clever marketing I mentioned earlier. It really kicks in here. You can't see the park from Gatlinburg, and that creates some excitement and builds up anticipation. But you'll definitely notice the chairlift or red chondolas that take you to Anakeesta's entrance. Now, chairlifts aren't new to Gatlinburg, but chondolas are new to the Smokies. Chondolas are eye-catching. Now, I noticed chondolas while visiting Smuggler's Notch in Vermont. The other way to access Anakeesta is the Ridge Rambler. The Ridge Rambler is a custom-built 5-ton military truck that provides a scenic guided tour to the top of Anakeesta. We'll talk about tickets later, but during our visit, we had an all-day unlimited access to the chairlift, Chondola, and the Ridge Rambler. But we weren't interested in the Ridge Rambler this time because of the weather. For us, at least on this visit, taking the chairlift down at the end of our visit was very enjoyable. It was an attraction all to itself. It offered some amazing views of Gatlinburg, the moon, Venus, Jupiter. It was a beautiful night after a very, very rainy day.
A little longer ride than I thought. There's like this stop off at the halfway point, but anyway, it's a nice little trip up the mountain. So right off the bat, there's a thrill ride, sort of. I mean, it's not exactly a thrill ride, but you know, we're moving up a mountain, suspended in the middle of the air. Anything could happen.
We'll see. I don't know.
Anakeesta is clean. There are some great restaurants. Where we ate, the food is what you'd expect anywhere these days. Prices about the same. The customer service, however, was the best in the park. More on customer service later in the video. The view in this restaurant is exceptional. And listen, I know far more about Gatlinburg than I know about algebra, and that's a real shame. But anyway, this restaurant at Anakeesta offers the best views of any place you'll eat in Gatlinburg or Pigeon Forge. Here's another chance to prove me wrong in the comments. Every theme park, every park for that matter, needs a hot dog stand. That's the strategy that worked for Uncle Walt, who taught the world a thing or two about theme parks. The hot dog stand is the focal point of the park. Anakeesta's hot dog stand is AnaVista Tower. It offers a 360-degree view of the mountains. And this is when Anakeesta started making sense to me, and when I started to understand what I think, no, what I hope they're going for. And I'll talk more about that later. Yes, there are botanical gardens, but we were visiting in the middle of winter, so moving on. One attraction I saw advertised a few years ago that got my attention is Treetop Skywalk. Surprisingly, it's unique in the Smokies. This skywalk has hanging bridges spanning 880 feet and 50 feet above the forest floor. Anakeesta also has zip lines and a rail runner mountain coaster. Now, these kind of attractions aren't new to the Smokies by any stretch of the imagination, and normally we'd be all in, but they weren't operational during our visit, probably because of the weather. Something else that caught my eye were the 3 life-size birdhouses for guests to explore. Even at night, these attractions kept catching my eye. Very unique.
Put a bird on it!
The park also offers giant slides that go down the mountain with light features. There's a lot to do for little kids. Now, all of it was great, but the main reason I initially wanted to visit Anakeesta was to experience Astra Lumina. There's no spoiler alert. Trust me, Astra Lumina can't be spoiled. You have to experience Astra Lumina for yourself to learn about how amazing it really is. We were blown away. Astra Lumina means starlight, or light from the stars. Simply stated, it's a walk-through light show with a story, music, and lots of sound effects. Oh yeah, and it's on the side of a mountain in the Smokies. Let me know in the comments if you know of any other place in the mountains that offers anything like this. Now, as I show you some of the amazing scenes from this awesome experience, we really need to talk about Anakeesta. There's something new going on here. It's a new perspective. I see a lot of potential in this 70-acre theme park. Now listen, you're going to have to walk a lot and be active while visiting Anakeesta. It's mainly outdoors and on the side of a mountain. That, all by itself, well, it's rewarding. It's not taking you out of the mountains to have a mountain experience. The architecture and the lighting is pleasing to the eye. During the day, the surrounding mountains steal the show, and they make sure you can see the mountains almost anywhere in the park. At night, it's all about the lights. Anakeesta enhances the local culture instead of playing into the old stereotypes. In this way, it offers a new and refreshing way to look at the mountains through the eyes of imagination, curiosity, and wonder. They know how to appeal to your senses, and they understand that the mountains are the main attraction. Well, the mountains and everything about the mountains. So far, about 2 million people visit Anakeesta annually. And by the way, if you have better numbers than that, let me know in the comments. Anakeesta offers a great experience that will cost you about the same as every other all-day attraction in the region. However, their pricing is convoluted. Overlayered pricing is often an indicator that the park doesn't have enough to offer for an all-day experience, and Anakeesta doesn't have enough to offer. During the summer, it's an early morning, then evening, and night thing, if that makes any sense. In other words, you get up in the morning, you go to Anakeesta maybe for a sunrise or breakfast, then you enjoy downtown or back to the lodge or hotel or timeshare, whatever, and then you come back that evening and at night. Now, they don't come out and say that, but it's right there in the wording on their website. So yes, other than Dollywood, when it comes to tickets, the price, well, it's comparable to every other attraction in the Smokies. But Anakeesta really needs to expand so they can offer a single all-access ticket and save the layered pricing for exclusive perks. And Anakeesta needs to lean on their amazing creativity and offer more than zip lines and mountain coasters. We've seen that. Their next investment really needs to be a couple of unique and creative rides that break the mold. Rides that are as unique as the park itself. And it doesn't have to be loud and crazy roller coasters. Maybe it could be something, well, I'll say it again, something unique. Now, I mentioned this earlier, but it's worth mentioning again. Anakeesta is extremely clean, even the restrooms. But in general, other than our waitress, the customer service was, well, average. But imagine this, imagine an enhanced customer service experience. Well, that would go a long way, especially when combined with how clean the place is. That alone would set Anakeesta apart from most other attractions anywhere in the region.
Fireflies of how a different cry of passion.
So listen, Anakeesta is worth your time, and Carolyn and I are going back in the spring or early summer. I mean, anytime you're saying you're going to go back somewhere within the year, it means you liked it, so we liked it a lot. I guess I'm just hoping that they're not finished. I hope they're still dreaming bigger and better. I'd like to think that we're seeing the beginning of something that could be the most unique theme park, not just in the mountains, but in a lot of places. I think they're onto something. I just hope they're not finished.
My firework will bring.
This video is a part of our Smoky Mountains playlist. It's a new playlist we created for our channel that includes old and new videos we've made in or around Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Now, this is one of our longer videos, so I'm really grateful you stayed with it until the very end. Actually, I'm grateful when you watch any of our videos for any length of time. I really appreciate your comments and questions. Sharing this video on social media helps too. Don't forget, I've left links in the description, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Here are some other videos I know you'll enjoy. My name is Bill Marion, and this is A Nose for Life.
This world is so massive, problems